Hi out there, it's me, Eloise, and today's video is brought to you by the letter W for work in progress. Last week I introduced myself as well as this channel, and I figured this week would be a great time to introduce my work in progress and answer a few questions. Where did the idea for your book come from? About 7 years ago, I worked at a job that was in downtown Seattle, and I do not live in downtown Seattle, so I had a two-hour-long commute. And something that a 2-hour-long commute provides you is a lot of time to think. And I was either going to daydream or I was going to have an existential crisis about life or contemplate the doom that late-stage capitalism has forced upon our society. So I decided to do the former to keep my sanity and not cry on public transportation. That being said, one of the questions that I asked myself, because I'm a Greek myth nut, is, I wonder where the Amazons come from. Now I know what you're thinking, Eloise, you dummy. The Amazon originates in the Peruvian portion of the Andes Mountains. That's not what I'm talking about. But yes, you're right. In Greek mythology, there's a legendary warrior tribe that stands out from the rest because they consist solely of women. The most well-known work that involves this tribe is DC's Wonder Woman. She is an Amazonian.
Sorry, I got sidetracked with a rant about corporations butchering the source material for a buck. Back to our scheduled programming.
After asking this question, I ended up going down a research rabbit hole, and while I learned a lot about the heroes that encountered this legendary tribe, I learned little about the tribe itself and even less about where they came from. So I kept digging, and I finally came across a name, Otrera, the first queen of the Amazon. As soon as I discovered that name, my daydreams transformed into something of a plot, and I kept working with it and molding it on my commutes until I formed something of a book. And here we are. When did you start writing? I started writing this book in the summer of 2019 when I should have been studying for my CPA exams. What stage is your book at? Considering the fact that I started writing in 2019 and it's 2023, I wish I could say it's been published, but we're not quite there yet. I've completed the first draft and a number of revisions of book 1, and it's about to be sent off to my editor on September 1st. What genre is your book? While some might say that it's a Greek myth retelling, I like to describe it more as a historical fantasy because it doesn't really retell a specific myth. It just is a whole bunch of crap thrown together in a fun kind of way. Is this a standalone or a series? The current work in progress I'm discussing in this video is book 1 of a 6-book series.
What books would you compare yours to?
This is one of the things that I've had the hardest time figuring out when writing this book, because I don't think this is like any other Greek myth retelling that you have ever read. It has the balance of the beautiful imagery that comes with Circe and Song of Achilles, but there's also dick jokes, and it doesn't take itself very seriously. There are a lot of Easter eggs for Greek myth fans that you'll pick up on if you are into that sort of thing. But if you're not into Greek mythology, you'll still enjoy this book. It's a solid story. It's a good mix of adventure and drama and some comedy. Yeah! Who is the main character of your book? My main character is Otrera, first queen of the Amazons. It's something of her origin story. What's the synopsis of your book? I'm going to read to you what I have on my website, which I've worked very hard on making very nice if you want to check that out. It's linked below. It's got some cool stuff on it, including a link to subscribe to my monthly newsletter. Anyway, okay, here it is. In ancient Greece, Otrera has no time to dream of what freedom tastes like. She toils away with her mentor Thea in running the household and is overlooked by her master. Sheltered from his scrutiny, she's grown into an unpolished, obstinate, skittish woman unaware of the extent of evil in the world. When her impulsiveness thrusts her into a life-or-death situation, she finds herself at the mercy of the goddess Artemis. In exchange for her fealty and celibacy, Otrera is given divine gifts and tasked with finding sanctuary. With little advice from the goddess and even less assistance, Otrera seeks guidance from the Oracle of Delphi and makes an unexpected discovery. Pursued by a vengeful king, Otrera is eager to find a place that's free from fear and violence. Along the way, she finds she's not the only one looking for a more peaceful place to call home. As more companions join her on her quest, the pressure to find a sanctuary for everyone is undeniable. Yet the closer she gets to her goal, the further she drifts from her pledge to the goddess that saved her. Can she find what she's searching for without losing herself? What are some themes that are explored in your book? I tackle a lot of feminist themes, such as gender roles and the expectations that come along with those. I tackle concepts of morality, a loss of innocence. What kind of tropes can we find in your book? I'm just gonna rattle off a bunch of them. Found family, friends to enemies, slow burn, enemies to lovers, technically a chosen one. While I wouldn't call it a trope, I do want to make it clear that there is LGBTQ+ representation in this book, as well as sex positivity. So if that's something else that you have a problem with, have a nice day. Is your book spicy? If this book were a movie, it would be rated R for language, sex, violence. It's along the lines of HBO softcore at the moment as far as spice level. Violence, there is blood and description of death on page, but no details of the gore. What is your book's title? So I've saved this question for last because this is the big announcement. I have had Project Arrowhead as my blanket kind of project name for this, and I am announcing in this video today the name of my book. Drum roll, please. Maiden of Artemis, Book 1 of Legend of the Amazons. What do you think? I kind of like it a lot. If you are as excited for the Maiden of Artemis as I am, be sure to subscribe to my monthly newsletter so you get important announcements and bookish updates well before everyone else, along with access to exclusive content. Link below will take you to it. Cool! The link works, I promise! If you have any other questions related to the Maiden of Artemis, please let me know in the comments below or send me a message and I'll be happy to answer them. That's all I have for you this week. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next week, and until then, have a great rest of your day. Bye! Bye!
Do you like writing?
Yes, I like writing.
Do you like mythology?
Yes, I like mythology.
Do you like my videos?
Yes, I like your videos.
Then what are you waiting for? Subscribe!